Next couple?
Next is Clara and Ryan.
All right.
So let's go back to affinity. Do we think those two would mesh up if they didn't know each other? If they were just in a bar, is she the girl Ryan would come and ask her dance?
You know what? I honestly think that Clara, overall, I think she thinks Ryan is a really cool dude. And I even though every now and then, she kind of raises some eyebrows because of his, Ryan is kind of he's a cool dude, but he's also kind of a serious dude. Like when it gets to opinions and things like that, he's definitely a little more straight-laced or buttoned up than Clara is. Mm-hmm. But I still feel like she genuinely likes who he is as a person. So I don't know. I'm feeling like hers should be at least a 4. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do believe she likes Ryan, and she's even said that he's the kind of guy that she'd take a second look at if they just met. Mm-hmm. So Ryan, for her, affinity-wise, and I think he's probably in the same neighborhood as she is.
You know what? I feel like I think he genuinely likes her, but I feel like not quite. And I'm not saying he dislikes her, but I'm saying in terms of just the people that he would hang with, just for her total personality, I think there are little things in it that he would tweak. So I think for him, I think it's more of a 3. I think he overall likes who she is as a person, but at the same time, she is a little more, I guess, liberal than I think he typically would agree with. Mm-hmm. And so I think just those little areas would pull him back down to a 3 for me.
Well, they do have this shared experience. So both of them were raised kind of in the church, but one of them went the other direction.
Yeah, she's kind of drifted from. Yeah.
And I think that might have applied to the affinity thing with him. He might not have. Well, she might not have been at a place that he would be hanging out.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying is that if you were just choosing, you know how like in school, they would say pick the person you want to be on your team. I don't think she's the first person he would pick, only because there are those small little differences that I do think are fairly meaningful for him. They haven't created an issue in the relationship, but I do think that in terms of just when he's choosing his people, he doesn't necessarily choose the people who aren't really into church or the people who, you see what I'm saying? So
if it had come down to a choice at the end between, say, Clara and Napoleon Dynamite,
then he go ahead and choose Clara, but no.
So what, should we give him a 3 or 3.5?
I say 3, but how do you feel? What do you think?
I say a 3 is good.
You think 3 is? I think it's reasonable. Because he doesn't dislike her by any means, Respect.
R-E-S-P. Did I already sing that?
You did, and yeah.
I know people want to hear more.
Okay, yeah, we've got everybody sitting around waiting on your cover of respect.
So, does Clara respect Ryan? I think so.
I think Clara you know what? I think Clara has a great deal of respect for Ryan. I would definitely put her respect level at a 4. I think that she feels that he is a very responsible person. I feel like she almost looks up to him. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think he respects her. I know that he was raised religious, and in a previous conversation, in a different episode, they were talking about kids, and she was saying how she would be okay with. She didn't want to push religion at them, and he said, well, I would like them to have some church experience, and she conceded to that. So I think she's got respect for him.
I believe so, and I think he respects her. I think he genuinely likes who she is, but I also think some of his respect for her has to do with the way he was raised and his religious beliefs and things like that. I think just as a matter of principle that he makes that effort to be respectful and to show her the type of respect that he thinks is due to any wife and what have you. So I think he respects her for who she is, as well as who she is in his life, if that makes sense.
So we're putting him at a 4 or a 3 or?
I feel he's a 4. What do you think?
4.
4? Okay, sounds good.
Communication. So I haven't really seen any challenges with them where they'd have to communicate about something too heavy.
Here's my thing with Ryan. I feel like Ryan, he wants to be a good communicator, and I think he fancies himself to be one, and because he feels that he can express an idea. I don't know that he expresses, well, put it this way, he will ask Clara a million questions. What does she think about this? How does she feel about that? I don't necessarily hear him then share as much or as deeply about where he's at. It almost feels like sometimes that he's interviewing her. And then we get what I feel are sort of like textbook, what I'm supposed to say answers from him. So for me, he's a 3 when it comes to communications. I just feel like it's almost like you're talking but you're not saying anything kind of thing.
Yeah, he does like to, I think he also fancies himself the voice of reason.
Yes.
Because if you remember in the little kerfuffle that
Chris and Eric,
he tried to jump in there and settle him down.
And it was a good thing.
Yeah.
But I just think that sometimes you have to put it this way. When it comes to a relationship, the conversation needs to be a little more intimate and a little bit more about what you're feeling as opposed to what you know you're supposed to say. I don't necessarily hear, because remember, this is the guy who doesn't want to say the L word. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't want to take it too lightly, but I think because of that, he almost doesn't allow himself to feel. And she needs to know how you're feeling. You see what I'm saying? So first of all, you have to allow yourself to have some feelings. And then you have to be willing to share those feelings with her. And I feel like that's a little bit of a disconnect for them. So, yeah.
So what do you think about her ability to communicate?
I think Clara's a pretty good communicator. I do. I think that she will tell you what's on her mind. She will tell you what her struggles are. For me, and I think for Clara, the struggle right now is when she lays her heart on the table, she doesn't necessarily get something back that's equal. You know, he doesn't reciprocate quite to the same level. So I feel like that's a challenge. But it's not her challenge, it's his.
And we're going to dive into that here in just a moment. So, 3, 5, or 4?
I think she's a 4. What do you feel? I'm doing all the talking here.
You're doing all the numbers.
Okay.
But I agree with you. You first.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So chemistry. This is the next category. So here's what's interesting to me. I think there's chemistry there. I mean, she's a reasonably attractive woman. He's a reasonably handsome guy.
Well, he is, but in addition to the hair,
Right.
he has now curled up the ends of the mustache.
Right.
I don't know what's happening here,
Right.
but if she can live with it, okay.
Yeah. So but they haven't consummated their marriage yet.
Right.
And I think they might be the only ones who haven't.
I think so.
Yeah. So so.
But why? Do you think it's because of a lack of chemistry? Why haven't they consummated the marriage?
See, so that's the funny thing about chemistry, sexual tension. So Ryan is always talking about, he likes to talk about the fact that he's never told anyone he loved them. And Clara likes to say that she falls in love all the time.
Right.
And one of the things she mentioned in a previous episode was that her biggest fear, in fact, on one of the first person-to-person conversations that her and Ryan had after they were married, she mentioned that one of her biggest fears is she's going to give love and throw herself out there and not get it back. And I thought that would have been the perfect time for him to grab her by the hand and kiss it and say, oh, something.
Reassure her.
Yeah, but he didn't. And it's happened a couple of other times, and none of these times has he
taking that opportunity.
Yeah, which would have been great opportunities, man. I mean, dude, maybe he's got the mustache twirled a little too, I don't know. But all I'm saying is, man, these guys haven't consummated their marriage.
Right.
know what that's about.
Right. But here's the thing, again, I don't think it's because there's no chemistry. I don't. I think the chemistry is there, and Ryan keeps putting the brakes on because of all of his personal inhibitions and issues. Ryan has got to break down some walls that he built up for God only knows why. But I think chemistry, I think Clara's chemistry is a 4. Maybe his is a 3. Maybe that's why they haven't consummated.
Yeah, I want to keep him down at a 3.
Yeah.
Because look, I mean,
You're sleeping next to a beautiful woman every night.
come on.
She's your wife.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. There's no legal or godly reason.
So, I mean, you can come up with all this stuff.
Right.
Chris,
All of these
whatever,
intellectual
Ryan.
entanglements.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to loosen that.
Uncurled the mustache.
You know, Pastor Cal said something really interesting the other night. He said that love is an intellectual decision we make to fulfill another person's legitimate needs.
Absolutely.
And dude, I mean, okay.
Now that is perfect timing for that, because we're going into you first. And I think a lot of the struggle, the unnecessary struggles that Clara and Ryan are having is because he is more focused on his ideas than meeting her legitimate needs.
Yep.
Because, I mean, again, how many times does this girl have to tell you how important it is for her to feel safe, loving you?
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a small, thick step for him to take, but he's so caught up in his head that he's not taking that step.
And I'm sure millions of guys watching this show are like, you know what, it's such a sacrifice for him to have to, you know, break down and be with that poor, unfortunate woman. No one's thinking that.
No one's thinking that.
So,
yeah, she's cute, she's got a great personality.
and she wants to be with him,
And
it
she
feels
wants
like.
to, I mean, come on now, what are you fighting for, sir?
So I'm going to go all the way down to a 2.5 on the you first with him.
For him, yeah. So yeah, you first, because at the end of the day, once you say I do, there has to be a conscious effort to meet the needs of your spouse before meeting your own. And he's consistently dropping the ball. He really is.
It's not like she says, you know, the answer to the riddle to make me happy is on the backside of the moon. And you gotta get up there. It ain't like she says it every week. Turn the TV on, man. You know, she says it every week, dude.
Right. Now that being said, I mean, I think really the only opportunity we've had to really see Clara put him first in action would be the conversation about the kids and the religious things like that. I don't know that we've seen a whole lot of situations where we can see one of them making a conscious decision to put the other first, or am I not remembering something?
Well, first of all, I think the fact that she still, I mean, on the last episode that we watched, they still sit close and they talk to each other, and they're still kind of touchy-feely.
Well, that goes to chemistry. We're talking about you putting each other first.
I know, but I think that she's got to be thinking in her mind by now, what am I not, I'm it ain't nothing, you know, she's got to be thinking about that, and yet she's still being.
Okay, so you're feeling like she has reasons to be a little more distant, but she's still making that effort. So you think that that's a good indication that she is still
putting him first.
All right, I like it. I can. I'll buy that.
I'm gonna go forward with her.
Wow. All right, Clara is holding this marriage together.
She is. I mean, look here.
All right, not bad, not bad. Okay, so all 4s for Clara, but they've got a combined average index score of 17.8, so just under Brianna and Vincent at a smooth sailing percentage of 71%.
So you ready to break the?
Oh my, y'all ready for Paige and Chris? Cause listen, it's a lot as usual.